Every once in a while, I've got to write, like a little essay. And who knows why? I can't explain it. I just do it. And this is one of them. Astrology is what I call cultural astronomy. It's a simple reflection of the facts of astronomy. And it tells us what those facts might mean to us here on Earth. Now, what am I talking about here? Astronomy is a fact-based science. As in this new moon or that full moon takes place on a certain date at a certain time, and that's a fact. It can't be argued. This is pure astronomy, science. Now, astrology has to do with what these objective scientific astronomical facts might mean for us. Like psychology and some of the social sciences, astrology is what's called a soft science. Some hardline scientists say that the soft sciences mean nothing, and that meaning is so subjective that it cannot be organized, that meaning does not cluster or form. However, more flexible and forward-looking scientists suggest that the soft sciences work with future facts that have yet to be determined. Think of it as facts in their birthing stage. What may not yet constitute facts or, quote, science, unquote, to the general population may be considered facts by the relative few whose experience or awareness allows them to be able to resolve them from what can otherwise appear as chaos out from them. In other words, facts, like everything else, especially in the soft sciences, are often discovered over time. Literally, they emerge or are born. Another way of saying this is that the concept of what constitutes a fact itself changes. This makes it more complicated. What once were not considered facts gradually come to be considered facts, and vice versa. What once were considered facts may be perceived differently over time, and finally seen as not factual at all, or as just incomplete truths. So even the concept of facts is relative. Things change. Those with greater awareness, they may be able to resolve future facts from the subtle matrix in which they are currently embedded, just as fossils carefully emerge by removing what covers or hides them. But one thing is sure. Only what is true has a future. Our guesses, our presumptions, conjectures, suppositions, and speculation all are subject to reality, and what is not true simply does not endure. That's the nature of truth. It lasts. In fact, truth lasts all the way until the future, while other things may pass. Those with enough awareness to see the truth in life, by definition, are prophets, because since the truth is the only thing that endures long enough to have a future, it's going to last until then. Seeing the truth clearly is exactly seeing the future clearly. Telling the truth is the same as telling the future. This is just common sense, or maybe it's uncommon sense. Now I'm going to go back to astrology. In soft sciences like the various mystery traditions, there are no hard facts. There's no hard science. It's anyone's guess, and only perhaps the most aware among us can sort out the baby from the bathwater. There are not many like Nostradamus. Astrology has been called the king or queen of the soft sciences because it's based on hard astronomical facts. It's a direct reflection. As I pointed out in the beginning of this essay, astrology is a perfect reflection of astronomy, and this is important. Astronomy is meant to guide astrology and dictate its parameters. There's no astrology aside from the astronomical facts. Anything else is relegated to some other of the soft sciences, like, the psychic science, just call it psychic or seances and so on. And I'm not putting the psychic sciences down, but I am pointing out that astrology has to do only with the meaning and the interpretation of science, in this case, the astronomical facts. The astronomical facts guide astrology, and anything else, by definition, is not astrology. Coming events cast their shadow. That's an old adage. And astrology has to do with the shadow of astronomical events, trying to bring them into the light and explain them. As mentioned earlier, the power of truth, how we know it, is that it lasts. Truth lasts and endures into the future. All truth is factual, be it hard or soft science in the making. Since we know exactly to the minute and second when this or that new and full moon will occur far into the future, these astronomical facts or significators really are the keys to the future. It's astrology's job to interpret and explain the possible meanings of these many astronomical significators. And I don't believe in astrology on faith. I find astrology useful. Let me put it this way. Who among us does not at times speculate about their future? The very exact and steady motions in the heavens are how we tell time, by the day, the month, the year, and so on. So this is pure astronomy. Astrology, as I've come to know it, is just gathering up what we have learned from these astronomical events over the centuries and projecting that knowledge into the future, reflecting these astronomical facts that will happen in the future and what they might mean. Astrology is cultural astronomy.